Hello, comic fans. You got Anthony and you got the Willie Mo here. Friday night, we're doing a video comic book breakdown.
All right.
What are you thinking about it, Willie?
I'm thinking it's going to be pretty cool.
All right, man. Well, I'm fired up about it. We got a comic that you picked this week,
Uh-huh.
and it is Marvel Team Up. No, I take that back. It is Marvel 2-in-1. Number one, The Thing versus Man Thing. And we will be right back with that breakdown right after this.
Whoop!
Okay, comic fans, we are back with our latest comic breakdown with Willie Mo. You started to college this week. How did it go? Did you like it?
It's going great right now, but it's the first week. I'll probably be crying in my sleep, crying myself to sleep every weekend.
Yeah. Well, you got a good schedule right now. There'll probably be some semesters where your schedule won't be as favorable as what it is right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat what you got right now. You only got 2 days you have to go to school, and then the rest of it's online. So you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I'll still probably be crying myself to sleep with how much crap I got to do.
Yeah. Well, you was about crying today when you didn't get that yard work done by the time I wanted it done. And I was going to beat you up.
You wouldn't have figured it out if I didn't have to call you about that daggum fuel cap being so tight on the daggum.
Exactly. But you did. So you're lucky I didn't put 5 cross-shore lips.
Okay. All right, Fred.
All right, so we're not gonna quit. We're gonna quit rambling right here. We're gonna get to our comic book breakdown.
We're trying to make it a goal to be under 20 minutes.
We're doing Marvel 2-in-1, number 1 this week, and this features a couple of your favorite characters.
I'm
assuming that's why you did this. Now, is the Thing? I know Daredevil, or I saw this in a video you made earlier. Daredevil is your number 1 favorite Marvel character
right now. Yes.
And Thing, I know, is up there.
Yeah.
And who else? Moon Knight.
Spider-Man.
But that thing, ain't that your top 3? Daredevil, Moon Knight, Thing?
Yeah.
No certain order?
No certain order. Just Daredevil, Moon Knight, and Thing. That's about it.
Well, we're going to get started with this book. Marvel 2-in-1, number 1 came out in the early 70s. I believe Gil Kane did the interior artwork on this. I'm not sure who the cover is. We'll put it up on the screen. But great cover, as you see behind us right here, and just the start of a great series. Now, this series started in Marvel Feature. They tried it out. Thing and the Hulk, I think, was the first one. And then they did Thing and Submariner or somebody like that. I can't remember.
Well, the Thing
who
and
the
Hulk.
second one was. No, it was Iron Man. I take that back.
Yeah, it was Iron Man.
It succeeded really, really well, so they decided to do his own series starting with number 1 issue, and this is the first one, Thing and Man Thing. And we'll get started here with the first one here.
Heck, Hulk and Thing are still longtime rivals to this day now.
Right. And this series starts out with Thing. He's been through the series that happened in Marvel Feature 11 and 12, I believe it was. And he is
reading the newspaper.
He's reading a newspaper, and he's upset because the newspaper is featuring, and he's in Florida or
he's at a gas
close.
station,
and he's reading about the Man Thing. And so he's very upset because the Man Thing is stealing. He feels like it's stealing his name. He's smashing the gas station around. The guy that runs the gas station is like, "Stop, please! You're wrecking my store. What did I say? What did I do to offend you?" And he says it's nothing. It's just I'm upset because of this guy getting away with stealing my name, and the name of this title is Vengeance of the Molecule Man.
So that means that there is going to be something more to this story than the cover states.
Right, and then we see the next page. He says, "You didn't do anything. This is magazine you sold me of all the filthy And he said, "You mean it's unwholesome?" And then he says, "No, it's just got to do with the man thing." And they just continue to talk. So he tells him that he wants to go see the man thing in person. And he says, of course, but the fare to Florida is slightly higher. And he said, can't be higher than the Baxter Building, Pops. So he just tells him how he wants the ticket. And he said, I didn't mean anything by that. He's got the guy scared to death, pretty much.
Well, if a giant guy made of rocks was yelling at you about something, I think I'd be scared too.
So the bus is coming, and so he decides that he's going to take the bus. And as he's driving off, he said, the guy that's running the gas station says, I've been a good man, a religious man. I've done an honest business here. I've run an honest business here for 41 years. Why me, Lord? Why did you send him to me? So he was really,
here's
really
what's
upset.
funny, in my opinion. What do you think them bus riders were thinking when they just saw the thing get in the bus with?
Well, you can see in the first panel on
They're
the next
all
one,
like freaked
the
out.
riders are like really sweating and tore up. It was a day and a half ride to the Everglades. So he says, I might as well enjoy the view, relax and enjoy the view. Nothing like endless horizons of wilderness to cheer a guy up. And
Then he starts recapping.
He starts recapping what he's been through with the Hulk and Iron Man in the last few issues. Then he's like, he says, I got to clobber my way back to civilization and find some meatball trying to hog my glory. And he says, I'm being oversensitive. Maybe I'm being oversensitive, but when you look like me, a little glory is all you got on earth, and it hurts to see it slip away. So Thing is basically saying that he likes being the Thing.
Yeah, the little bit of pride he has being the Thing is being ripped away from him. That's what he feels like. That's why he's so upset. But then we move on from that setting to another planet. That the comic is moving on to another planet.
Right.
And you'll see the Molecule Man is laying in bed. They're very sick.
Well, and what has happened with him is the space-time continuum has sped up his aging on this planet. He ages faster just by the way the planet's time is set up and the way it orbits.
And surprisingly, the one that put him here was the Watcher.
Yes.
And the Watcher, if you remember, if you've seen the What If series on Disney, if you've seen the comics, Watcher doesn't interfere with hardly anything. So this is surprising that he's put him here on this planet.
Well, the Molecule Man is very, very powerful.
He can take molecules and make them anything he wants to.
But the Fantastic Four found his weakness and his one weakness, and they exploited it and captured him and turned him over to the Watcher, and he was placed in exile in this planet where he has aged tremendously. And he's old and he's dying, and he says his foes are still young and strong, and they tell us because we live in a different space-time continuum from Earth, and time moves faster here. And so he says the Watcher put him here just like what you said, and kind of recounts that. He said, in the last two panels, he says, but you, my son, can go to Earth, you can avenge me. And his son tells him, you have my word, Father, I will not rest until your enemies are dead.
And he just dies.
He falls dead right there. Yes, yes. And then the young son starts making a vow that he's going to avenge his father. So he goes out and leaves the little shelter, and
he states that before his father died, he had made a device to counter his only weakness.
Yeah.
But he found it too late, and he was already too old to use it.
Well, he could not affect living molecules. That was the Molecule Man's one weakness. But he figured out how to do it. But he had gotten so old, he would never been able to survive the process of being able to turn into that. So he goes in here and sees that he's got this little the nuclear engines, mammoth complex of nuclear engines from a lifetime of vengeful research. and talks about how his dad couldn't survive it, but he could, and he transports himself, setting the apparatus in motion, and energy levels have reached their zenith. The sun is bathed in a shower of atomic particles.
And as soon as you know it, he is the next Molecule Man.
Because it changes his face to look just like what the old Molecule Man's face looked like.
Yeah, and he starts saying how powerful he feels now and how different he feels. And he says even his old robes have been, and you can see his old robes have been turned into a outfit that he has on. And this outfit's kind of weird.
And this guy, he likes to give soliloquies everywhere he's talking, you know.
Yeah, he's just...
I will be the Molecule Man, and I will rule the cosmos.
This is just one of them opponent. This is one of them. This is one of them villains that just yaps all the time and never shuts up, basically.
But he decides he's going to New York to kill the Fantastic Four, and he transports himself off of that planet and vanishes.
Bro talking like they can hear him.
Yeah, exactly. But he does not wind up in New York City.
In fact, he teleported. Here's what he did, though. He teleported to the Thing because of his body readings.
Right.
But because the Thing wasn't in New York or anything, he ends up in the swamp that that thing is going to.
Right. Right.
And I'm pretty sure he transported, instead of to the Thing, he transported to Man-Thing.
Yes.
On accident.
Well, the Thing is also there, so he's close to the Thing.
Yeah, he's close. He didn't just
And I think he just kind of runs into Man-Thing by accident here.
Now, I've been saying, I never looked this up like you told me to, but tell me if I'm wrong in the comments here.
I don't know this.
I swear I read something to where when a fear strikes a man's heart, when they see Man-Thing, they catch on fire.
Yeah.
But as you can see in this comic, that he is frightened by the Man-Thing, but he doesn't catch fire.
Could be because he's not a normal human.
It could be that, but it's just weird how they just do away with that whole concept.
It did scare him so bad that he dropped his wand when he saw Man-Thing, and instantly he started aging when he dropped his wand.
And he starts stating that as long as since he's been on that planet so long, his aging is so used to that planet, it's sped up on Earth.
Right, right.
So but in order to stop his aging, he needs to grab his wand. He needed to grab his wand, and his wand keeps him from aging.
Yes.
As fast on that planet.
Yes.
So he just, as soon as he grabs it, he can reverse his aging back to normal to be young again.
Yeah. The Man-Thing keeps looking at him because he's kind of curious about him. He doesn't really know what the deal is. And he looks at the Man-Thing and figures out that he's just kind of a mindless creature.
He's not really,
he's not the one that he's looking for. So he walks off. Not realizing that the Man-Thing is kind of following him.
Here's the thing. The Man-Thing knows the concept of evil.
Right.
So if he ever sees anything evil, he tries to stop it.
Right.
So he's just following Molecule Man around just to see what he's doing. He's curious.
In the meantime, Ben Grimm is getting closer to the Everglades, and he decides that he has got far enough, and he wants to be let off right there on the road. And the guy says, the next stop is for 40 miles in regulation state, and then pretty much he tells him, "You're letting me off right now."
Why would you even try to argue with this?
And
just let him off.
That guy's like, "Sure, whatever you say." So he gets off on the bridge, and he just jumps down into the swamp, into the Everglades swamp, and realizes it's just muck and mire down there. And immediately he gets attacked by
a bunch of
man-eating vines, and then right off the bat, the Molecule Man sees him. And he's trying to get off. He actually was not attacked by the vines. The Molecule Man
made the vines
attack him. Yep. And so he gets off the vines.
And Thing tries to punch him, and he makes a shield with the air molecules.
Yep.
And he's not able to hit him.
Right. Man-Thing again is watching from a distance, and even though he doesn't really think about a lot, or he can sense evilness.
Yeah, so like I said.
He decides to help Thing, and so he grabs the Molecule Man from behind
and throws him at the bridge.
Ben's like, "Holy Hannah, it's a Man-Thing, and he's helping me, Yeah,
he throws him at the support beams of the bridge.
But Molecule Man uses his wand and turns the bridge into like a mattress, soft thing, and he bounces off of it back into the water. And then he says, it occurs to me there's way more ways to kill a man than physically. He said he could kill him instantly, but instead of doing that, which is what he wanted to do, he wants to make them suffer, which again, that just shows this guy, he's a grandstander.
And surprisingly here, he is able to turn the Thing and Man-Thing back to humans.
Yeah.
Back to normal.
He decides to turn them back into normal
humans. Since the Thing has a mind, has consciousness, he's wondering why he's human again. And because he hadn't been turned human yet in any of the comics.
Right.
He is surprised that he's human again. But then Man-Thing, he just doesn't even know where he's at. Right. Like, he doesn't even know what planet he's on. He doesn't remember
anything that happened after he was doing the government.
Because Man-Thing has his own consciousness. It's not Salus in there. It's just the Man-Thing. It's not even him.
Yeah. And one reason why Molecule Man wanted to turn them back human is he wanted them to be just observers and not be able to do anything while he kills the Fantastic Four. So he's trying to torture Ben.
And then he teleports out of there. So he thought.
But his wand doesn't work in the swamp.
Because the swamp is because of what turned Man-Thing into Man-Thing, there's the property of physics don't work the same way as they do in the swamp.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at the nexus of mystic forces. The laws of science often go awry, as in the accident that birthed the Man-Thing itself in that swamp.
Think about how powerful Man-Thing is. If the properties of that swamp are keeping pretty much a deity's wand from working,
right?
What gives him his power from working?
Well, then Ben and Ted start walking.
They're friends now, apparently.
And Ted's talking Ben's ears off, but he's pretty much telling him he's working on a secret government project.
They're heading to his old lab right now.
And one of the projects he was working on was the project that eventually turned Wolverine into Wolverine.
Yeah.
So
Weapon X.
Weapon X, yeah. So anyway, he's saying if we could locate his old lab, and if it's still intact, he might just be able to find some chemical means to defeat the Molecule Man. And he says, Thing says, really, you think there's hope? And he says, there's always hope, Ben. Without it, there's nothing to live for. I'll try my best, I swear. And it's basically Ben's telling him, you talk too much.
Well, they don't find the lab, and they're unsuccessful in finding the lab, but they do find
into the town.
They walked into the town that Ted has been in.
Yeah. And so they walk into town. It's called Citrusville. And he said, there may be facilities here we can utilize. We can't give up. And then Ben's basically saying, just do me a favor and shut up. Anyway, the Molecule Man has walked into the town as well.
And now
he can't understand why his wand's still not working.
And now he's testing it, and now it works again because he shoots it at the road, and it turns the road into like a snake.
Yeah, he's using it like a wave.
Like a wave.
Yeah.
And he's basically yelling out how he's glad his wand works again, basically all that stuff about how his power's back.
He's once again supreme, he says.
Yeah, and he's just one of them big yappers.
Yeah. And so he comes toward Ted and Ben, and they see him, and they're like, good Lord, he's using the entire street. And he said, that's the maniac that we've been trying to fight. I had no idea he could do this. It's beyond anything. And then basically Molecule Man says, this is nothing. It's just basically an exercise, So then he decides he's going to demonstrate what he's going to do to the Fantastic Four.
And he turns this innocent civilian in the middle of the street, and he turns him into, makes him look like Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the guy's like, please don't kill me. I ain't done nothing to you.
Right.
And he's talking about how Reed Richards is elastic, right? And and even elastic has its limits, and he starts stretching it and stretching him really, really hard.
Yeah.
I guess.
Imagine it just shattering his bones.
And then he basically kills the guy.
Yeah.
After that, and this upsets Thing a lot.
Yeah.
And he's getting really, really mad.
He tells him, "What kind of scum are you?" And then basically Molecule Man says, I don't like you this way. He decides to turn him back to Thing.
Why did he do this?
Thing says, that's the biggest mistake you've ever made. And Molecule Man turns some of the road into chains and takes the rebar from the road and turns it into chains and tries to chain Ben up, but he just basically breaks the chains. And Ted tries to come and tell Ben to calm down, but he's playing right into his hands.
And this is the mistake that Thing did. He basically shoved Ted out of the way.
And that gives Molecule Man an idea. He decides to turn Ted back into Man-Thing so that they'll fight. And then as Man-Thing wakes up, he realizes he's been shoved by Thing, and he says that he thinks that must be his enemy. So he swings at him, and then Thing misses, and then Thing swings at him and punches him in the midsection, but his arm goes right through because he's just made out of ooze.
And he's surprised that he's just made out of a bunch of mud and ooze, and he's just talking about how he's weirded out by it and how he's even standing, basically.
And he realizes that Man-Thing has it worse off than he does. The one guy that, has it worse off than
Yeah, because
he
he can't even control himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then Molecule Man starts
making fun of both of them.
Yeah. But then Thing takes that sludge he was holding and throws it at Molecule Man, but he was aiming at his face, but he hit his wand out of his hand.
Yeah.
And this basically dooms.
It knocked it way away from him.
Yeah, this basically dooms Molecule Man. And then
Molecule Man starts aging, and he's trying to get to his wand.
And he's trying to tell Thing to give him his wand quick, or he's going to die.
Yeah.
He tries to lunge for it, but he falls over.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, this sucker just starts turning into dust.
Yeah.
Right? It's like his fingers were like just inches away from the wand.
Yeah.
And he just turns to dust.
So then Thing gets the wand and sees if he can change them back to where they were.
But before that, Thing was like, dadgummit, I just killed the only dude that could change me back.
Right. Unless maybe the wand works, and the wand's not even working. It's just basically useless. And
he wants to turn Man-Thing back too because he knows how bad he has it.
Man-Thing just turns around and walks off, and
back to the
Thing
swamp.
winds up giving the wand to some little boy and says, "Here, you can have this thing. It's about as useless as a Cracker Jack toy." And the little boy says, "Thanks, mister." And the little boy is just basically on the last panel is like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, look what the brick man gave me. Look, I'm king of the universe, master of the world. And he's got that wand.
Bro might be the next villain.
Yeah. And that's basically it. That was a pretty great story. I really enjoyed it. We had 3 we were looking at, and that's the one we picked.
That was a really
Will
good
pick, and I enjoyed that one as well. I'm a big fan of the early 70s Marvel stories. I just like them. They're really cool. And Thing, again, is another good character. So. And it's kind of a good warm up for Doomsday coming out.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to go see that.
Yep. Well, that's going to be it for our
Also, I want to talk about a rumor that's been going around.
We're trying to keep this video under.
I know, but I just want to talk about it. Let me talk about it. This is important. I heard a rumor about Doomsday that it was going to start off with Tobey Maguire fighting the X-Men.
No?
Okay. This is what I heard, though. Everybody's talking about it. Somebody said that's leaked, and it's talking about it, and that's a big rumor going around about that.
I've not heard that, but that'd be interesting if it is the case. That'll be pretty cool. I'd like to see that.
But it'd be awesome. I think that'll be a really cool start to the movie. Very action-packed.
Well, all right. We'll try to keep this video a little bit shorter, folks. If you like our content, please hit the subscribe button and drop us a comment and hit that like button as well. And share our video and hype our video. It would help us to help grow our audience and help with our views. And we appreciate everything that everybody does for us, as we say that every week. Again, we appreciate you and hope that everybody has a good rest of your weekend. Willie Mo, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Well, everybody have a good weekend, and we will see you again Sunday, me and Owen, with another comic pickup. Probably won't be out till early Monday morning, but we'll work on it Sunday. And as always, go Dogs. Just around the corner, football season.
I can't wait.
We'll see you guys
Bye.
next time. See ya.